When is anyone professional or prepared?
You won't catch me talking with my mouth full. And it looks like our runners are off with their hyper-advanced switch technology. They get a 3-second earlier tie swipe than I ever remember being possible. Anyway, so if you are just fresh to the Tropical Freeze racing scene, this is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, 5th game in the mainline series that was re-released on the Switch recently with Funky Kong, the fresh new funky mode. So it has all the same levels that were in the original game on the Wii U, but you get to play as Funky Kong this time around, who is quote-unquote easy mode. It's easy mode in the sense that you start with more hearts than you originally had access to. Normally only 2 hearts for DK, and if you had a buddy partner, you got 2 more hearts. But Funky Kong, who can only play by himself, really, gets 5 hearts. Spike's capture froze up, and so has Yock's. That's great! Anyway, oh good, they're both back. Thank God.
Don't want anything happen like last time.
Oh, I'm gonna jinx everything. Everything is gonna go completely horribly wrong. I expect a million deaths out of them.
A million.
Anyway, Donkey Kong normally does just a roll and then you can jump out of that. Just like, you know, the old games, you can jump midair out of those rolls. But Funky Kong has the ability to quote-unquote roll infinitely, which is something you normally need a buddy partner for. So he's already got 1 leg up on Donkey Kong. The partner buddies that you get are like power-ups. You get them in these barrels and they all do different things. Funky Kong has a lot of their powers baked into himself, so he is basically the one-man army. And you're gonna see him throughout the majority of the run. All of World 1 is sort of like a bunch of tutorial stages. They all teach you how to use each of the partners individually. So in the first stage, you'll get Diddy, and there's a bunch of like banana trails, etc. that sort of direct you to how his hover ability controls. In the second stage, you're supposed to pick up Dixie right about now, and she gets a flutter hover ability. So these bananas show that she actually rises when she floats, which is pretty useful for her and everyone ever who likes playing this game and doesn't like falling in pits. Funky's ability is the ability to hover if you hold the button down. He starts spinning around his surfboard. It's super rad. He also has infinite underwater breath. If I've missed any of these, please catch me, Snowdog, because like I haven't played.
I'm gonna try, but I'm interacting with chat.
It's all good. He can double jump, and he also gets the ability to roll over water, aka surfing. He's immune to spikes, and I think, yeah, he's immune to spike damage. He can double jump. You can get a lot of momentum by just like bouncing off of all kinds of hazards. He, like other Kongs would normally take damage to. He's just insane.
Yeah.
So, although he's like quote-unquote easy mode because you get so much health, the runners are gonna take advantage of that. Just damage boosting off of, you know, a lot more things with disregard for their well-being.
So it's Funky's kind of a small package with every Kong in it. Basically.
Yeah, he's not like Cranky Kong is honestly still my favorite. However, so like Funky really gets like a lot of his own things. I'd say Cranky is like the closest to being as good as Funky.
Yeah.
Like Funky can't roll over spikes. He's immune to their damage, but it's really slow. So runners are still going to be avoiding, you know, just landing in a pit of spikes. They're also going to be purposefully trying to avoid using his flutter ability, because when Funky Kong hovers... Oh yeah, he slows down a lot.
Hopefully no one has to use that. Now Jock, ahead with ahead with 3 seconds. Yeah. And now we on to our first auto scroll of the game. World 1-4.
Shoutouts to Trunk Twister. God, I love this music.
Yep.
Right, so last time I called Yock out on not doing barrel skip. I want to see my boy do some barrel skip.
And yeah.
In there. Now this is an auto scroller, which doesn't mean it's completely free. The auto scrollers in this game are actually kind of tough. And then they will be saving time. You see them jumping all over the place. Some of it's just for show, but basically anytime they jump over an incline or a decline, doesn't matter. Going up or down on tracks will generally slow the Kongs down.
So that's why they keep on jumping.
Yep.
And seems like none of the two people, or two runners here, are collecting Kong letters. Well, you can collect Kong letters or puzzle pieces on the way. Well, if you get to your destination as fast as possible. It doesn't slow you down, but it's an extra sort of challenge if you want to have.
Whoever gets the most puzzle pieces at the end of this run will be the de facto winner. Hey! God bless Funky VA.
Who actually voices Funky Kong?
It's a good question.
I'm looking it up.
I remember the voice actor for like Donkey Kong. I think was like the same VA for Homer or something. I don't know. I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong on that. Yo, it's Cranky.
Cranky. Yes,
they
because
made
this.
What was that? Oh my god!
Have you not seen the new strats?
Jesus Christ! Get wrecked, Popples.
Have you not seen the new strats? What?
That was amazing! Jesus Christ! Yo, I'm buying a Switch tonight. I'm running this game again.
Okay. So no, what you can do here, you can switch over to Cranky and bounce off the edge. And while Poppy goes down or leans down further, you can bounce up even more and hit Pompey more. Don't know why it does. Don't know really why it does that, but the hitbox for one of them is bigger, sort of to say. Hope I got that right.
I mean, that all sounds about right.
And yeah, it's called the Snow Sido.
Unfortunately, Yak tried in his second attempt to get the Snow Sido. I guess that's what it's called.
Yep.
But he whiffed.
But you know, like bouncing off the animals with Funky and then hovering up there for a bit. Instead of that, you can just use Cranky. And that's
Yo, get completely wrecked! Bye! Does this work on the old game?
Oh wait, this is not Snow Sido. Okay, I got it wrong, I'm sorry.
I was like, Snow Sido sounds like the new 6.5 tech. Jesus.
I got it wrong.
Docildo.
Okay. I don't know. It's just Nustra.
Yeah, I saw recently on the Tropical Freeze group that they were talking about some quick hits on Poppy, but I was like, oh, that's probably not something like too crazy, but whatever. It's great. I'm happy when you guys find new stuff. But that was Jesus Christ, oh my god.
Excited Moo is the best.
Like, I want to watch that again. I'm sorry, guys. Like, the rest of this race is irrelevant to me. I just need to gush over some new tech. But actually, they're in 2-1. Also known as, quote-unquote, the first time the game gets really difficult, because now we have open pits.
Yep. So,
Windmill Hill, apart from, again, having gorgeous music, shoutouts to David Wise. David hecking Wise. Obviously, there's a lot of windmills. They have to be catching some cycles, or like just knowing where the pattern is going to be. Basically, the way cycles work in this game is like most of them are local. They'll be loaded slightly ahead of where the player is, off camera. There are some global things. So barrel cycles, for example, the Kong buddy barrels. Those are on global cycles when the stage starts up. Those won't play a big factor. Mostly because they're going to be using just Monkey Kong, but that will matter later on. And then global cycles will be in other stages as well, primarily music-based stages, so in 2-3 coming up after the next level.
There came up a notification on Spike's side saying his Pro Controller is actually running low on battery, and he's sadly died.
Yo, battery percent, my favorite! I remember I saw way back when I started running this game, before I ran this game, I remember watching one of Goldfish's PBs or races, and his controller battery, his gamepad battery died on the first level.
Spike is saying his controller won't charge. Oh,
that's really bad. You need that.
Joy-Cons, here we come.
You want to talk about not Poppy. The other dumb animal.
Rambi. Rambi. So, this is the first level that introduces Rambi into the game again, and you don't need him for most levels, but he's kind of useful in destroying things. But he's
very good at destroying runs.
So he has an animation of charging up to get his full speed every time he lands or jumps, so it's a little bit slower, but people still use him because he destroys things.
Basically, Rambi is good for the last section of this stage. He's okay for the first section, mostly because you can see every time he starts running, he has this little buck, and that costs about half a second per start. So you want to be avoiding as many of those as you can. And it's super video gamey, but I guess it's neat that Funky can double jump with Rambi.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make much sense. Hilariously,
he has his own surfboard.
I don't even want to think about that. Imagine him skating on lava. No, he deserves to be dropped in there later on. Yeah. Spoilers.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, DKS loves to correct me during all of these. It's 0.1. God, I'm so sorry.
Teacher, huh?
I mean, if he wanted to correct me live, he could have been doing the commentary too, but you know. Yes, the music stage. Here we are. So this is Horn Top Hop. And all the horns in the background are actually going to be blowing in tune with the music. That means that basically everything is going to be already loaded and going the moment we enter the level. So if they're not used to being hung up for a split second, platforms could be where they don't expect them to be. They could end up falling into a pit. Not supposed to take damage there, so yeah, I kind of expected Yak to pull back for a second. Smart call. Ooh, Spike actually had to slow down as well at the very beginning of the level. He almost rolled into one of those, we call them dick pokers. Those tucks with spears. Yo, they poke you right in the dick every time.
Oh yeah, last time. Right, sorry, but last time that Rick raced, he tried to drop Rambi into the lava, but Rambi kind of took him with and pulled him off. So they both died. So it was just he tried to kill Rambi, but Rambi says no.
By my hand, you too shall die, master.
It's not really a matter. Rambi's just being forced to be pulled. But yeah.
Could imagine DK and Cranky with a wistful beard. Just, no, obey me, my minion. You were to die.
Yeah. Oh, now Jock is at the other Auto level, 2 out of 5, and this one is another minecart one, but you can ride a piece of wood with this halfway through. Does it do anything much? No, you can just go on water, but that's really it.
Okay, I finished my cereal and I'm done choking on milk. Thank God. Alright. So yeah, the second auto-scroller is another minecart one, and we have no more minecart auto-scrollers, sadly. I really love the minecart auto-scrollers. They all have amazing... Actually, it's not even that they're easier, because sometimes they're more difficult. It's just that they all have a unique aesthetic and music to all of them. The rocket barrel ones all have the same theme. They changed up the instrumentals a little bit, but they're all the same music. The guys have to be careful about the snowballs of Minecraft. Listen here, you!
Minecraft snowball safing.
The guys have to be careful about where they jump here, because yes, they can take some damage by jumping into obstacles, etc. if they needed to. However, there are some one-shots, like the machine. If they jump in the machine or one other spot earlier in the stage, they just immediately explode for whatever reason.
Anything with a roof will kill them immediately. But a solid roof, not just one of the platforms right there that just jumped over.
I don't know why they wouldn't make them all breakable though, like really. We're just gonna like, we're gonna make it so it's, no, that's bad game design, because like if some of them break, then you're like, oh, it's okay, I'll be fine, I'm not gonna die here, and then you just explode, and you expect it to live. That's an L, Nintendo.
Okay.
Is Spike missing out on the free puzzle piece? It's okay. Either one of them could score redemption by having 69 tokens by the time they get to Wingding.
Wingding sounds like a food restaurant though. Some sort.
Come on down to Wingding, get your things going.
Alright, Jock is now
Jesus Christ, that was close. Yeah, reasons why they don't want to flutter. Like, he didn't even, like, it almost didn't even save him.
Okay. So, well, 2-5, it's a short one, but it's sort of I would describe a floaty level, because it's a lot of balloons and you bounce them and floating obstacles. And
can we slap the side? Yak, please? You don't want to slap the side? No? Yak! Come on, man, you gotta have some more fun. It's a video game. Like, if you gotta wait.
Just do something.
Ow. This is actually really scary because, like, Funky can barely make these jumps with double jump and flutter. Yo!
I love chat response.
Jesus Christ, my That's a hell of a mood right there. Ah, my balls.
And here at 2-6, the place called Windings. Here, this is kind of more half and half of half on auto scroll, half a platforming sort of level, but it's got, I would say it's an odd mix. What do you would say?
Yeah, it's not really an auto scroller, but these zip lines fix your speed, and you just have to time your jumps. So it's basically not. Hey, you missed the bell, Yock. I'm looking.
Just gotta keep an eye now.
I'm getting upset. Give me the controller.
You just somehow get the controller out of nowhere, and you have to control it.
Yo, I will remote control his desktop, and he can just hook it up right there. Just get that dongle on his PC. I will remote control his Switch just like that. You missed that letter.
Just, come on, that was an opportunity to get it, but apparently he doesn't want to die because he has a loot problem, so he's playing it safe.
Ah, it's free.
It's free.
Yo, but for real, shoutouts to both of these boys. I love them. Yock and Spike are really tearing me apart here on who to root for, but I have to put my hat in for Team Yock. Even though he's missing all these tokens and Kong letters.
I think Spike got the O. Nothing is free.
They're just giving them away. The stage is like, here, you want this? It's right there. You just gotta drop down for it.
Come on, it's so easy you can get, and you went past it. Sure thing.
The last section here is this vertical climb, and yeah, no!
Oh,
I was like hyped because Yock was going for it, but then he missed it and he crushed me.
You crushed me?
I was so excited because it's like some new tech. It's you normally have to grab the vine and that rings the bell and you drop down and you bounce back up. But Funky can literally just grab the vine, double jump, and grab the bell. And I hope Spike goes for it. He didn't go for it last time. I'm not sure if he knew about it because it's the kind of thing he would go for. No. Well, he did have a slightly different route. Maybe that just changed because he was like kind of lower on the vine.
Alright, well, to the boss. I keep forgetting the names, so I try not to guess random names.
How are you gonna forget my...
I'm not good with names.
So this is Scal.
I don't remember it quite well. I know people are gonna probably say, how can you forget, but...
It's all good. We're looking at Egg Boy here. He's gonna be constantly... Well, he changes up the gist of his strategy each phase. So the first one is sort of introducing you to the fact that you're going to be taking his minions out, just knocking them out, and then using them to deal damage to Scout. On the second phase, you can see Yock. Sorry. You can see Yock is he held onto one before throwing it immediately. That was so he could have another one on the screen and just throw two right after each other, which prevents you from having to wait for the third egg.
Don't you think it's kind of odd that some of them don't have eggshells and some do have eggshells? Because that kind of makes me think, are the birds and eggshells babies?
Scal is a responsible father. No, Spike! Oh man, that's actually pretty awful. So, I know from memory that he just lost about 13 seconds, I believe.
15,
it's
13.
Yeah, you lose like 20 seconds in the first stage if you miss a hit, and then much less than that, but still a significant amount in the second phase. He's not going to have a solid opportunity to deal damage for a little while. And then, far more egregious than that, you don't want to mess up on this last hit with Yock. Oh no!
If they'll wait about a minute! Oh no!
Alright, Yock, please. I need you to hear me. Don't let this get to you. I need you to just be calm, relax. Spike messed up too. You'll get this later. This is like super tragic. That's actually one of the most painful things I ever had to deal with when running this game. Missing that in a race. I'm so sorry.
They're not that far apart. I say that.
I mean, Spike lost a bunch of time, but he's about to catch up significantly because if he gets this double hit on Scowl.
Scowl sucks, but we suck more.
Yeah, that caught Spike basically right up.
Yeah. You can just smell the whiff of being right behind Jock.
Where's Muncha? Quick, someone call California. We need Muncha right now. We're about to go to Grassland Groove. Get your yayas, get your yellow zebras, get your blue giraffes.
Get your copy of The Lion King out. It's now happening. We're going to the jungle. Well, it's not really jungle, Steve. It's just animal based.
Yo, look at NK go! Heck yes!
That's perfect. That explains the whole level here. And again, it shows up Spike having low battery.
That's really scary. I want to see Spike grab that puzzle piece at least.
Hey, you got it.
Yo! What a guy.
Did not make him. Oh, he might be a bit more behind.
Spike Virginia, everyone's favorite. Yo, Yock with the swag barrel throw. And Spike grabs the puzzle piece. Hoi. Hop hop. Hoi.
This music just brings the joy to my face.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Son of a Yuck! Please don't do that to me.
Clean cut from Spike. And they're now
Oh
tied,
man!
basically. They're not basically tied out, though. But hey.
Yuck is like a fraction of a second ahead.
Oh yeah, second global cycle of the level. No, wait, I'm mixing up words. This
Global cycle.
This is another global cycle level.
That was 3-1. 3-2 is not. 3-2 is instead either sloppy baobabs or we're gonna get the edible arrangements.
Food. It's a weird food tree.
Baobabs are these giant spiked fruits. I want to see how clean their intro is. Last time we had sloppy baobabs. Ooh, yuck! The edible arrangements.
Spike has now taken the lead.
What did Spike do? Jesus, like I missed it.
He went a bit faster. Climbing up that flower tower.
The Tower of Power.
Flower power. Tower power. Wait, no.
They just passed by one of the worst puzzle pieces in the game. If you've ever gotten all the puzzle pieces in this game, and I have, I sure did. Alright, let's see who can get the most puzzle piece jumps. It's not gonna be Yak, because he didn't even spawn it. Yo, Spike got 1! He got 2! Oh, that's 3! Oh, that's 4! 5! So, thank you guys for watching. Spike, good job. Good win. And now we're going onto a stage that is just, I feel so bad about this. Like, it's just not, it's not the level I remember.
What do you mean by that?
Let's talk about momentum real quick, because it's not really noticeable in a lot of stages. But If there's ever a moving platform in the game, and you roll and jump off of those platforms, you actually maintain and add your speed to platform speed. It only lasts as long as you can carry it. However, Cranky, because he can pogo, can basically carry that speed indefinitely, as long as he doesn't have to stop. So it meant that you could, you know, jump into a tornado, have it whip you out.
Oh no.
Jock, please don't die.
Jock had to abandon Rambi because Rambi didn't go.
Rambi's controls are bad. I think we established that, and he'll just never improve.
Damn it.
Some animals learn. Rambi does not.
But no, that makes Spike to take the lead.
Yeah, Spike jumped ahead by a couple seconds now.
Because Rambi didn't want to work for Jock.
But yeah, like I was saying, you could jump into a tornado, it would whip you out, and then you could roll jump out of that. With Cranky, you could pogo throughout the beginning of the stage, and it actually it's much faster than anything Funky could do. But it's extremely difficult to control. In RTA runs, it's basically not viable. It would still be faster. In Time Attack, it's got a much stronger setup. Right now, Spike has the lead. It's only ahead by about 2 seconds. RTA means real-time attack, which means whenever runners do full runs of the game. When you say IL, you're saying individual level, and you're referring to when you practice a single segment of the game. Yeah, it also stands for Rooster Teeth almost, or Rising Tri-Attack, I don't know, all kinds of things it could stand for.
Rambi.
Really tubular awesome. Radically totally amazing.
Alright, so... Oh wait, no, you go.
Oh no, that's good. I talk too much. You want to talk about Scorch and Torch? You want to talk about Fire Droplet? Alright, Fire Droplet. Not Spike. Oh, but Yak got it! Yo, he's a cheater! He got that twice now. Newbie, that's not family friendly.
We can't say it, but you can type it.
Roasted taco already. Mmm, I like the sound of that.
No, wait, someone... Okay.
Richard Theodore Ainsworth. Mmm, that's a man I can stand behind. He knows how to go fast.
Okay.
Sorry, got sidetracked again. This is, guys, come on. The freest auto-scroller in the game. You can literally hold A or B, they both will send you
I am
skyward.
disappointed.
For the entirety of the stage that they must get through, they can just do this.
I'm very disappointed that they're just holding A now.
I kind of hope they would interact more with the stage, but I guess if they're gonna take a break, we can too.
Sure. Someone has now just put a clip of your reaction to Poppy's new strat.
All day, hold B, it's free. People talking about in-game timer. There is no in-game timer for this game. It's sadly missing for a full run of the game. You don't get a log. You don't have any way of reporting how much time has been recorded by the game. There is a timer in Time Attack. So if you go and do a single stage, it does have that. It does have leaderboards, so people do love to race single stages. It does, however, take away from the full game run appeal. Like, most people will spend their time doing single stage because of that. But we do have dedicated runners doing full game runs, and I do love to see that. There are a bunch of categories for this game, and yeah, come on!
Hit the roof.
I appreciate seeing a lot more people running this game than ever before now that the Switch version is out. Team Sweden is right! Thank you,
Team Sweden! I'm proud of that.
Yo, Team Euro, let's go. So Bramble Scramble is another gorgeous stage. Music is great, and the unique gimmick, by the way, every stage has a unique gimmick. If you haven't noticed, the unique gimmick for this stage is that all the platforms will appear shortly in front of you. So they're not going to be all completely visible at first, and this would normally require someone to take their time and be cautious, but the runners have practiced this stage enough to know exactly where everything is and what they need to do. Christ almighty, that's a hell of a name for a clip, right, Kelt?
I love it.
We're not going to talk about that.
You can look it up yourself. I mean, by that, look up the clip.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yuck got really low there in the pit. You can actually you can drop to your death if you're not careful.
Yep.
And this stage used to be known as the N-Strat stage. But Cranky can't Funky can't pogo, so he has a slightly alternate setup. You can see that they're missing 3 hearts by the time they get to the end of the stage, so they really can't take additional hits out of nowhere. Estimate for this game is about an hour and a half. I believe world record is down to, what is this? No death abuse, 124? 123?
Yeah.
I don't know, and I would have to look it up.
Hold on, I have the thing up.
And while you do that, we'll quickly talk about the third boss of the game, Baboom. So, didn't really get the chance to say it before, but all bosses have 3 phases with 3 hits per phase. Baboom works slightly differently. Yes, he has 3 hits per phase. It's basically, you have to deal 3 hits to a single Baboom. And then the other 2 will, the one that you knock out will go away, the other 2 will heal. So you can deal a ton of damage, but it only matters that you knock out 1 per round.
No, what I can just find is just any percent no death abuse. Yeah.
It's a 123 apparently, and it's a Funky only run. DKS being super modest. What a humble guy. There is no boss RNG, so that's actually one of the benefits of playing on the Switch version, is they took out all the boss RNG. It's not exactly, it's not like any of them are super boring as a result, except for Bashmaster. I mean, that's just, he was already boring, so it didn't matter.
Make Spike's behind now, or... Yes.
Spike is very slightly behind. Yock has 1 hit left. Let's see that Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson! Ow! Slap!
What? So we have to now switch audios.
Yes, Aldramac, we're actually, we'll be going over what all the characters do in a second because they're going into World 4. Stated earlier, Funky basically has every character's ability baked into himself. The only thing he doesn't have, however, is Diddy Kong's unique character ability. His buddy ability is an underwater rocket boost. He can use his rocket barrel to give you a lot of speed underwater, so we're bringing in the whole family again. Donkey Kong in the lead, switching to Diddy primarily for the underwater stages, but there's going to be some small use of Cranky and Dixie later on as well. DK and Funky basically move at the same speed. DK just requires more button pressing. But now you can see Diddy's got this much faster underwater breaststroke. Technically speaking, Funky on top of the water, he can roll over the water by himself. So long as DK has a buddy partner, he can do that as well. So they do have the same speed. The benefit that Funky offers you is that he can double jump, flutter, and he can withstand spikes without taking damage. Dixie, like Diddy, has a hover ability, but Dixie's gives you height as well, so it makes Dixie's better in every way, but she doesn't have the same underwater ability as Diddy. The underwater breaststroke is only for Diddy. Dixie, however, has this underwater hair twirl that lets her fight these water currents. And Cranky's land ability is the ability to pogo. He can maintain his speed, so it's very useful for getting through dangerous sections of the game. It basically allows you to come up with a little more clever routing. Allows you to bounce on spikes. Allows you to also swing your cane at enemies underwater to take out hazards. Yock maintaining his lead despite a couple bonks. And thank God for the extra hearts here, because Spike took 2 hits. He would have lost Dixie, which basically would have been a reset for the stage, because you can't get this secret exit without Dixie or Diddy. Secret underwater exits are intended to be done with Dixie. You can do them with Diddy, though. And this beginning section here, you actually have to mash out the intro cutscene as quickly as possible. It's not something that plays a big factor on most of the stages, but when that intro, like where the Kongs jump in and they pound their chest, that's actually, background elements are happening. So like platforms are rising, barrels are switching. You need to mash out of that as quickly as possible to catch the first cycle in the stage. So you can see he started with Dixie, he switched to Diddy, and now he's got Cranky. This is one of the few trifecta stages left in the game. In fact, I think it's the only one. So just like before, you saw the Kongs rolling over water, just like Funky does by himself, but DK and a partner can do that. And you're going to see the tried and true, the setup to get out of here at the very end. 1, 2, 3, 4, jump, roll, nans, pogo, pogo, pogo. World 4 is kind of an interesting world. You have to do double secret exits. The intended path, or the regular path if you don't find it. The regular path is an auto-scroller and 2 very long underwater stages. Whereas by taking a secret exit within a secret exit, we get one less stage, so it's gonna be faster almost by default. But we also don't have either of them as an auto-scroller. This second secret stage, Shoal Atoll, is also known as Tropical Keys. I'm going to switch to Diddy, hopefully not get bit by this shark. And then, as they go throughout the stage, there are no checkpoints. Instead, they have to get all of these keys throughout the level to unlock the end. The end is actually not very far from the beginning. It's just locked away, so they have to go through from room to room finding all these keys. There's basically no air fill-ups throughout the underwater section, so it's very dangerous. It runs the risk of drowning if you're not careful. But for runners who already know where to go, it shouldn't be an issue. Yo, shoutouts to Speed Gaming. Don't forget to support Speed Gaming if you can. Allowing us all these tournaments and just in general providing a wealth of competitive gaming to watch. Thank you, Willy Dilly, for your subscription to Speed Gaming as well. Nice peaceful stage.
I have to ask, if you have to choose, what would you say is your favorite sort of music from which world out of the 6 worlds that they are?
Like one per world, or just for the whole game?
The whole world, or one per world, or just Any music that you really think that stands out or anything like that? I don't.
Busted Bayou is a secret stage in the first world. It's got beautiful music. Second world, it's got to be Wingding. Although close up would be the stage right before it. World 3. World 3, it's got to be Dosido.
Oh, Dosido.
Although, yeah, 3-1 is really, really awesome. World 4, honestly, as good as current Capers is, Amiss Abyss, the tropical freeze variation, like it's not current, it's not aquatic ambience. It's basically this game's take on what an underwater stage should be like. But enough about that for now. They're in Sea Stack Attack, which is a pretty rad stage. It's going to be making great use of Cranky. This is actually one of the few land stages for World 4. It's actually entirely on land. There are some land segments in the other stages, but this one's all on dry land, and it's got a lot of great platforming. Using Cranky, I want to see some good pogos. Oh my god! What are we doing? Nice.
Okay.
Did not get stuck in the quad knob.
I'm not good. It's going quite smooth.
Oh my god! We had some different setups. Can we get the crate skip? No, Jock is gonna play it safe, which worked out really well for him last time. Come on, Spike, I believe in you. Crate skip, crate skip, crate skip.
Actually, no, he messed up last time. Crate tip. Oh. That was...
Both had a very strong dong. Oh my god, I actually really forgot about it. So at the beginning of this stage, you could hear a theme that you'll basically never hear again. It's titled Irate 8, and it's actually in the land section of this stage and the Irate 8 stage, which is on the regular path for clearing Zone 4. That's actually my favorite music in World 4. I completely forgot about it. It's got this long segment where David Wise plays on the saxophone. It's actually beautiful and extremely underappreciated. So unfortunately, Jock missed a cycle. They're still playing with the whole Kong family right now. And this stage is actually the most difficult underwater stage, primarily because they have to catch 2 barrel cycles. It doesn't really afford them to mess up at all if they want to get the fastest cycle. So they'll lose about 5... Jock is going to lose about 5 seconds waiting on the E. Actually, no, he's not. I'm actually completely wrong now. He's not going to lose 5 seconds. He's going to lose just the 3 seconds for waiting on the land cycle. On land, barrels rotate every second. Underwater, they rotate every 2 seconds. But Jock doesn't need to refill his hearts. On the Wii U version, you had to because you only had 2 hearts per Kong. But Jock should be fine to just barrel through this section with the extra heart. And yeah, Spike grabs it just because he actually got through the stage flawlessly. Good job. And as I say that, he bonked. Yo, I said at the beginning of this that I was gonna curse both of them, and I'm doing a good job of actually cursing them.
Oh wait, there's more to come. There's more to come.
Yeah, Willie, actually, my friend does not like the saxophone at all, and it makes me incredibly sad because of how much I appreciate it. And he plays the piano, he's very good. So he loves music, he just doesn't like the saxophone.
Music is a strong point for this game.
I think music is a strong point in any game, and anywhere it's not, it's a shortcoming for them.
Depending on the game.
Yes! Jock got the Tiki Tombo. So that was a jump, grabbing the Cranky Barrel, taking it into the water. He got one last boost out of Diddy underwater before the Cranky Barrel exploded and gave him Cranky. So good stuff. That saves him a little bit of time. That was found by Mr. Tiki Tombo, one of very younger runners who came in. Oh man, that was not a great angle to hit Fugu, but at least he's not giving it up. Okay, so this strat is obviously not the intended strat. If you're not used to watching Tropical Freeze runs, if you played this game casually, you're probably really upset right now because you remember this boss taking forever.
Oh,
Spike, no! Spike needs to get
on.
control of Fugu again, like right now.
No!
It's not going to be a huge issue if he can get behind him again.
No, he lost Cranky.
Fine, he still has plenty. He needs to time this last damage boost, otherwise he's gonna be stuck. Oh, come on, Spike, please, please. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, please. Oh my God.
No, that sucks.
That's another huge time loss.
Oh,
Right in the last. If you were to die to Fugu immediately, you would lose like 40 seconds. He got all the way to phase 3. This is not really a hard kill, but you do have to execute it properly. If you let Fugu escape from you, you're kind of screwed. This is gonna give Yak a huge lead right now.
You said jinxing things, and I said there was more to come. This is the explanation of more to come.
So right now, Yak is in 5-1, and from here on out, the platform is just going to get way more difficult. Platforms are much smaller, don't offer you as much room for error. Healing-wise, it's not going to be super necessary or mandatory to like worry about your health. But as a general rule of thumb, they still shouldn't be like clobbering themselves into anything. There's not going to be a lot of barrels to offer them recovery. Oh man, did Spike get hearts on the wall? That's actually the worst thing ever. So something about the way bosses and hearts work. Whenever Donkey Kong is by himself and he takes damage from a boss, he's basically guaranteed to get a heart drop. Anything above that, it's like not super likely, but it'll happen. But one of the worst things that could happen is if the heart on Fugu spawns and spits out into the wall, you can't get it. The game sees it, and it's like, oh, the heart's there, you just don't want to get it. So it doesn't want to give you another one. They might have changed that for the Switch version, but on the Wii U, if there was a heart in the wall and you couldn't get to it, then you were basically screwed. You couldn't do the rest of the strat.
No, when the heart gets to the wall, it disappears.
And now it disappears?
Yeah.
I mean, even so, you're gypped of your heart. But it used to get locked in the wall. Actually, NK, Newbie, and myself, maybe even Goldfish, have had hearts get stuck in the wall and we just literally couldn't do anything. No matter how many times we hit Fugu, we would never get another one.
So yeah, Jock is now at another auto-scroller, and this is another rocket one where you can't just hold A or B. Hooray!
It's got that dynamic camera angle. It's pretty cool. I'm glad that they made use of this.
I don't know why, but when it sometimes turns to sort of the angle in the back and angle on the side, it kind of throws off for me a bit and kind of feels dizzy for me.
I mean, that's not a crazy notion. Like it's certainly a little jarring. It can give you a little bit of vertigo, I guess, and I don't blame you for it.
Yeah, because it looks like Donkey Kong is just staying still while the camera turns, but he's still moving, so it's just a bit confusing, I would say, for me.
Even now, I'm catching myself humming this theme. So, as much as I said before that, like, all the Minecraft artist plays are the better ones, like, this still isn't bad music. It's just, like, compared to everything else.
Just a different theme.
You'd be surprised how small the hitboxes are on these hazards. They're like obscenely tiny because They're just expecting people to like exaggerate their movements, and they don't want to hit people. Like the people who made the game did not want you to fail this section. I've gotten painfully close to all of the obstacles in this stage, and I've never gotten hit.
Grab jump, and we got that barrel.
Fruity Factory. Any 100% raises. Jesus Christ. Castina
Nope.
Tricks. I would love to see some 100% runs, period. But this is any percent no death abuse. For 100%, the definition of that category would require that you just beat every stage. It's not actually 100% of the collectibles, it's just beat every stage. You have to get all the Kong letters in every stage to unlock every stage, and that's it.
Well, it's only 100%, while the Wii U had 200%.
Wait, what? They changed the definition of 100% for the Switch?
Yeah, for the Switch it's no death abuse, any percent, and 100%. The Wii U has any percent, 100%, and 200%.
No, but I mean like...
Or like the definition we have to do.
No, like when you check the file select screen, it tells you what percentage of the game you've completed, and the percentage only goes up for things that for stages you've beaten, not for puzzle pieces. Yo, so Yock doing very good at this stage. Thank you, newbie NK. Yeah, file percent hasn't changed. Puzzle pieces just unlock artwork. That's actually all that they unlock. The collectibles in the game include the trophies that you can purchase. You get these little figurines from the shop. Yo, the figurines are actually one of the best parts of the game. It's too bad we can't afford to buy them in a race. Right, guys? We would never buy a figurine in the middle of a race, right?
I would. I love figurines.
I mean, you're not wrong if you buy one.
Just about to enter a box, you go back to the shop and then just get the figurine.
There is no prize for the winner of this tournament. This tournament is just for bragging rights. That's one of the things that I like about the speed gaming tournaments, is that most of the people who do host and organize these are doing it just for fun. There's no entry fee, and it's just for showing your mastery of the game.
The Jock had to hover to get across to the end of the platform.
David, Jesus Christ, what a next tier pun! Can I do it mid-run if I'm still the figurine things out? My lord. Ooh, that was a good throw jump. I heard the fucking grunt. So this last segment, they have to do the secret exit. The secret exit's free, but normally on the Wii U when we didn't have Funky, I took Diddy through this last segment here. Diddy makes this last section so much easier because Funky and Dixie with Donkey Kong are stuck on this corkscrew animation. It's very, very stiff on the controls, so you actually struggle with turning. I see Yock opted to just straight up damage boost through that spiky fruit. And apparently the double jump just lets you... You don't even have to use all the platforms thanks to that double jump.
And down to the secret.
1, 2, 3, 4... So, Newbie, I have to shout out my boy Newbie. The way you get that secret exit with Diddy is you have to do a minimum of 4 breaststrokes into corkscrews. It sort of like nudges you forward. And if you didn't get 4, you were bad. So he just sat there counting at 4. but I love you, newbie. Anti-shout-out, no!
It's just a shout out still. So, well, something that Jock is on, it's an global cycle world. So the platforms that stick out and go back in, those are on a global timer, and I think that's it.
This is Jammin' Jams, my guy. Yes, all of the stage hazards are on a 4-second global timer. So everything is, like, platforms are gonna cost you 4 seconds if you miss them, essentially. Probably gonna wait a small moment in the background for the barrels to line up. Hopefully he'll be able to get straight into the barrel. Nice! Woo. Yeah, that hoots that's spluttering left and right, once it moves into a better position, you can actually bounce off of it into the barrel like that.
Try cheating, that usually works.
Yeah, Spike has a lot of work cut out for him if he wants to catch up. We got some interesting suggestions from the audience. Cheating would certainly help him win the race, but it would also get him disqualified. It's gonna load up my already completed game file. Hey, look, I beat Frederick already, guys.
I know. I remember someone. There was one race here. No, one DKC Tropic Freeze race. Someone had finished, and someone has not reached Frederick yet, but he was almost there. Instead of finishing the 2 levels I think it was left, he went onto his completed game file and went all the way to Frederick and just played that. Well, his opponent won already, so...
Yo, y'all getting some tasty boosts coming into this stage. Ice physics are normally hot garbage, but because of the way you maintain momentum because of the springs, you actually can go super fast.
Oh, that was Tones who did that. Oh, okay.
That was nice.
Hold on. I want to see if you can find which one was it. Oh, Tones against Spike. That was. Alright, Jock now arriving to Bashmaster, the 5th boss.
So I mentioned earlier that Bashmaster is kind of boring, and that's not because he's got bad music or he's visually unappealing. The stage is actually beautiful. It's just very repetitive, and the fight takes forever. It actually takes longer than the last boss. Ow!
I've not noticed this. I've not noticed this. But Spike, who I was commentating with last time, she told me, if you can see in the background, the stage is moving, it's turning slowly.
Yeah, it does actually spin the entire way around.
Yeah, I've only learned that last time I commentated. So, that was new.
So, it was mentioned earlier there's no more RNG in the Switch version. This boss had a small bit of RNG to him. It was mostly annoying, so I'm glad it's gone. It does slightly take away from what you have to worry about, but yeah. Basically, these jumps into the sky that he's doing. He had an opportunity to do 1 less, so that would save you 5 seconds. And at the very beginning of the fight, what you're about to see Spike get into, the items that are stuck in the ice blocks, those were random. It was either one of 2 patterns. Either the bomb came 1 block early, or it came 1 block later. If it came later, it just made it harder to get the optimal strat. You have to hit Bashmaster before he starts approaching you with his hammer. If Bashmaster starts walking towards you with his hammer, that's basically the next thing he wants to do. But if you interrupt that, and you hit him before then, you'll get to hit him a third time almost immediately, instead of waiting for him to jump around. So you see how Spike just immediately got to attack Bashmaster. That's because the game is like, oh, the next thing Bashmaster wants to do is walk up to you and hit you with a hammer. Because you never let him do that in the first place.
Rick is saying he's a Bashmaster fan.
Yo, Raiko, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. You're objectively wrong. Load times are the other big difference. I was actually gonna enter the tournament, but when there's no compensation between Wii U runners and Switch runners, I was like, well, Jesus Christ, 7 minutes is like a huge disadvantage. I can't enter.
But no, there's someone in the tournament running this, but he's on the Wii U as well.
Oh, that sucks.
I can't think of who it is on the top of my head.
Yeah, if you're playing on the Wii U, we do have a cracked Wii U that lets you have an in-game timer, basically. It does have an auto splitter for you, so you do have that going for you, but it's not going to be as comparable to the Switch version, which obviously doesn't have that. Yeah, people who run on the Wii U you can still run the game on the Wii U. There's nothing stopping you from running. Let me just PSA this real quick. You can run any category of any game you want. I encourage speedrunning, okay? If a category does not exist on a leaderboard, you can make it, alright? Don't let someone tell you you cannot play a video game the way you want to. If you want to do something that's on a leaderboard, you have to follow the rules, yes, but like, if it doesn't exist on the leaderboard yet, go ahead and do it. Just do it. Play the video game, guys. Guys and gals, please.
And do you expect Pokemon Snap being now on leaderboards?
Water guns. Funky can roll off water by himself. That's something that all the Kongs can do if they have a partner. But yes, Funky can stand on spikes, whereas Cranky is the only one who can bounce off spikes otherwise. But now they're in World 6. This is... Yuck, no! Oh my god.
Okay.
A lot of these hazards are you get one try on them, that's it. Good lord.
As Jock finished the first one.
That's what I was saying. World 6 is a terrifying nightmare.
As you said. Jock just finished the first one as Spike enters the first one. So they're just a level apart so far.
Yeah, and the 6-1, 6-2, 6-3 gauntlet. This is basically the last super difficult stretch of the run. After this, the stages are still hard, but this is honestly more costly for like people who are running on Wii U or people who are playing with the Kong family. Yeah. You're having less health playing in original mode basically. Makes a lot of the strategies that you have to do very punishing if you screw up. You're only afforded so much health. Now
No,
World
sorry.
6, go ahead.
No, you go. I think we were both about to say the same thing.
World 6 is based on Donkey Kong Country Returns. Every single stage is based on a world from that game. And in this stage, Seashore War, it's based on the beach stage, where in Returns, Donkey Kong couldn't swim in the water. Nice boost from Yock.
Ooh.
So the water is a hazard in this stage. It's all frozen over.
Returns!
Yo, Returns hype. Returns is a good game. Even if you play it with the Wii Mo, it's a good game.
What's wrong with using a Wii mode? It's still good.
It's a lot more cumbersome, that's for sure. It didn't take away from it. I still enjoyed the game. I played it on the 3DS and on the Wii.
I've dropped a few Wii modes during that game, but I still have fun.
Yo, Returns is pretty awesome. Let me tell you though, Water Guns, 3DS actually has some significant differences in terms of like the physics. The game was rebuilt for the 3DS. Although it looks the same and the stages are all built the same, the physics are not quite the same.
I purely got Returns in 3DS because you could just take it anywhere and play the game anywhere.
I didn't have a Wii, so it was my only way to play that game. I had a 3DS and I picked it up. I was like, this is super fun. I'm glad I got it. It's very subtle, Water Guns. It's not like a ton of differences. Basically, some of the strats don't work because the Kongs don't move as quickly. And I contribute that to like lag on the system because the Wii is just more powerful hardware. Yock breezing through 6-3. I think this stage is kind of total garbage. But that's mostly because when you played the original mode, you only had Funky going with you. And if you lost Funky, you had to pick up Diddy, who couldn't do a lot of the strats at the end. But Funky gets this sick jump to the barrel. Oh my god, the total equalizer. Y'all are right in chat. 6-5 is coming up. Anything could happen there. But we got 6-4 for now. We have the Rocket Autoscroller. This is the stage based on the Caves world in Returns, which had like 4 or 5 autoscrollers, I think. And very few regular. Yeah, all one hit only. Autoscrollers in Caves were all one hit.
I'm pretty sure Spike's controller is plugged in and charged. But yeah, something's wrong because it keeps now popping up saying it. Unless he plugs it out, plugs it back in all the time.
Yeah, Spike has had the low battery pop-up coming up since the beginning.
Returns tournament would be fun. It would be interesting.
J-Hobbs is too busy running Crash 3 NST.
Crash 3.
Yo, there's the big purple turd.
Blue.
That's actually the Mega Squeakling. That's the big purple turd is just what Spike called him.
It's a good name. It's perfect. But its actual name, but it's probably called it by its actual name.
Yeah, Scorpion. I'll just remind you, like, run a game if you want to. It doesn't matter how many people are playing it. I recently got back into running a game from my childhood, and there aren't like any active runners in it, but I'm still having fun. However, the community is active, so shoutouts to them. Yak, please don't die! Oh my god!
Oh no! It's going vanilla!
Yeah, vanilla strats. For those of you curious in chat, it's not hack infection, but let's talk about tropical freeze for now, you know?
Yeah. Snowball. You can ride a snowball now.
I mean, I guess we're just stuck in an autoscroller. There's not much to say.
Just enjoy and have a drink, listen to the music, and yeah.
Tails Kirby, Michael Goldfish used to have, or I think still has, the record for all melons for Yoshi's Story. So now we're entering. Oh, he has the record for any percent, not all melons. All melons was the category that was crafted basically out of spite. Let's not talk about that. 6-5. So this is the stage. This stage can really be a huge breaking point for either of them. This stage, we're gonna see how much of this boost that y'all can get. This initial one. Please don't die. Oh my god! Yeah, got the whole thing! Good stuff.
Oh my god.
Okay, so now Spike has to live up to that, first of all. But then Yak has one more boost he needs to get, and then he does have one in the last section as well. Like, this boost coming up, it's kind of easy. Like, it's certainly much easier than it used to be. Rykill, is there more? Oh man, I am definitely under on these strats. I will have to watch them. Y'all calling Yak a babby, come on! How bad could it be?
Wait, hold on, let me...
Like,
yeah,
I'm already
this
enjoying.
Yeah, this is
looking
Snowy
super
Doe.
good.
I think this one is Snowy Doe. I'm getting strats confused by the names.
Yak definitely took it easy on the last segment, but that's fine. He had a great 6-5. I'm gonna have to look at the new 6-5 stuff.
Before you get a switch, just look through that, and then you're prepared.
No. Everyone's hyping me up real hard right now. Alright, Spike, you got this. Come on. 2... 3!
You did it.
So yeah, slapping these spring pads! No!
Oh.
Slapping the spring pads obviously gives you a bunch of speed. You can use it to completely fly through the stage. Spike was very close to nailing that last section.
Oh, Jock just...
What happened to Yak?
He jumped and he landed in between the two pillars.
He's still ahead by like a solid minute, if not more. I'm actually gonna retime that once I see him clear the stage.
We'll go back to it, or... like, right in between there. He was on super PB pace, what?
Yak was on PB pace. Yeah, well, Yak does work very hard to improve himself in this game.
Yeah, right now on the leaderboard, Yak is behind Spike. And yeah.
So that was a 117.56 on Yak's end, and I want to see what Spike gets as he beats this stage. I'm still wagering it's about a minute of difference. So now we're coming up on my favorite stage in this world. Frozen Frenzy is, if you listen closely, the Frenzy Factory theme, but far more chilling. On top of having ice basically everywhere, there's going to be electricity constantly turning the platforms into unsafe obstacles that they have to avoid or wait for. So that was 119.9. It's a minute and 10, like minute 14, minute 15 almost. Plenty of extra hearts. Yak can afford to take some extra damage. but they'd both rather not have to stop their hearts at any point. So good stuff from Jock, and he's coming up on 6-8, the last stage in this world, which
It's time for Rambi. It's time for Rambi.
Your hype is, it's kind of necessary, because I'm not feeling it. Not without some musical stylings! Ah, Spike. I literally look over at his screen and I saw him just crash into that hoop.
Alright, not 2-6, what am I talking about? 6-8, that's quite a distance. This is a whole lot of lava, but Rambi is needed. Unlike the other ones that you can just ditch him at any point, you need him this whole time. And also, if you lose him, you probably want to die, just jump in the lava, because you just want to have him all the time in this one, because you actually do need him.
Spike coming up on the end here. Yeah, I don't wanna jinx Jock. I don't wanna jinx Jock.
Do it. Do it.
No, I don't.
Oh, Spike,
this does look like Jock has a solid lead going in. He could win very easily. He does still have to deal with the last boss, and please don't die. Please don't die.
Don't throw Rambi off the cliff. There we go. And he didn't ditch Rambi.
Since Spike won the first match, if Jock does win this second match, then they will be going to the third round.
There'll be a third race then, to see who's gonna go through, and who is gonna go down to the losers brackets against Newbie. So we now arrive at Frederick, final boss of this entire game. One in this entire category of 80%.
Oh, Jock tried for a quick throw, didn't get it. Frederick managed to juke him. So for this last fight, again, every boss takes 9 hits. However, Frederick jumps to the background, requires a hit to get him out. It's just any hit will get him out. You don't need to do multiple hits. In fact, multiple hits will be slow. They don't take away extra health out of him. So he requires 9 hits in the foreground and any hit in the background to get him out. Yeah, you want to go 9 for 9, because if you miss any of the hits, you lose a lot of time. So Jock is still on PB pace if he manages to 9 for 9. Please don't die, Jesus Christ!
Spike's now going to be arriving also at Frederick. But if you miss a hit in the third phase, he doesn't jump in the background, he just stays there on one side and shoots ice dragons.
Jock winging it, manages to nail it. That was a risky move on his part. Now Frederick's going to be going faster every time he hits him. It's 2.
But his fastest stage? No.
So we have Piss Your Pants coming up, and then 3 more hits, and then it'll be time for Yak. Because this game used to have a lot of RNG on the boss fights, Piss Your Pants was actually a moment where you could lose about 5 seconds. If the platforms fell in a different pattern, then you would not be as terrified, but they would be much slower. You just saw on Spike's screen a couple of those platforms dipped into the lava as Frederick jumped off of them. If you're on one of those platforms when that happens, you just die. Yak coming up on his last couple hits. 1, 2, 3, and time! 125.48.
Jock's done. Is that a PB? Hold on. And that's a PB.
GG's to Yak.
He PB'd by 8 seconds. So GG's for him.
Low battery. And now we're being joined by Yak.
Yo.
Yo, GG's.
Thanks. Oh my god. I don't know how I won that.
You won. You won because you played solid. Don't forget that. You're a good player. Spike took some nasty skulls, lost a lot of time.
Yeah, after Scowl I was like, no, I lost.
So he missed a hit on the second phase, I think it was. Yeah, he missed a hit on the second phase on Scowl. So you actually, you still were in the lead after Scowl.
Okay.
Yeah, you were still in the lead after Scowl. Just about though.
Okay.
Used to Spike.
And then I lost the lead in like 3-3 or something. So.
Yeah. But you got your big lead when Spike died at Fubu.
Oh.
Yeah, Spike lost a bunch of time there. He also died in 6-5 and in 6-7.
Yeah, I saw the 6-5 death just in the thumbnail on Twitch, because after I died in 6-6 I had to like check roughly where we were.
Here he is.
Hello.
Hi. GG.
Yo, GG. Are you still not happy with that PB?
I lost the last egg on Scowl, so I lost 50 seconds there.
Yeah, I saw that. It was sort of a few matches I decided to just watch the whole thing for, and I missed the. I had a turnaround animation, so I missed a middle hit. And I was like, well, okay, I'm a million behind. Then I saw you missed the last egg. Did you just throw it too early, or what happened?
No, I went for quick kill.
Oh, you went for the quick kill. This been out?
No.
So you were trying to let me win the match?
No. Chat was complaining that I was using baby strats, so...
So you went for it. Well,
yeah.
Thanks for giving me a shot, I guess. Yeah. My bosses sucked. I think that was like the #1 reason why. I had like 3 other deaths, besides dying on final phase of Fugu and screwing up Pompey and screwing up Tel. So,
How many hits on Pompey?
I think I maybe got like 4 out of 8 hits, I would guess. Like it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was feeling good about it the other day. They just wasn't doing it. But yeah, then I missed the actual worst hit you can on Fugu. I missed the 6th hit. Tried to catch up to him and end up dying for it. I tried to get in the last couple of hits without letting him go ultra fat, but well.
Yeah, when we saw you losing control of Fugu, we were like, please, for the love of God, kill him now.
Yeah, I was like, because sometimes you can get that little like corkscrew hit on the 6th hit. You just try to go super up top. It's a little more lenient than you think to just get that top one. So I was like, if I let him get to the wall, we're done. It's not gonna happen. Even if I let him go small right there, he's just gonna pin himself against the wall and then he's gonna go ultra fat. So I was trying the Hail Mary at that point. That is the hit you don't want to miss on. You don't want to miss on Fugu.
I mean, even letting him go super ultra fat is literally as bad as dying.
Yeah, at that point, you might as well commit to trying that. Yeah. So at that point, it was like, well, the race is over. The only way is if Jock had missed like a hit or 2 on Frederick. So
he also had a great 6-5. He didn't get whatever the new strats are. I didn't get to see the new strats. Everyone's kind of hyping the hell out of them, so I'm gonna go check them out.
Oh, you haven't seen them yet?
No.
Oh, just a second. Let me. I'm closing. I'm gonna bring it up on my stream right now.
Okay.
You're just gonna watch it real quick.
Should I get out the nut button?
Yes.
There.
And chat, lower your volume. Yes. Do it now.
That lowered since Poppy.
Dude, DKS, I need to do some boss rushes. Even the baboon fight was just not very good. I was a little slow on the hits, which caused.
Yeah, I went over every boss except Scowl and Bashmaster today. Got a 40 on Fugu. I could have had a 39, but the last hit didn't connect.
NKB's trademark boss rush.
Mm-hmm.
That's it takes 5 minutes to get over this. Leaderboards.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna like window capture Chrome or something and then go to YouTube, and I didn't realize you were just gonna. I was like, oh yeah, he does have the game running. That's totally a thing. But I'm gonna also quickly bring up Speed Gaming schedule while you're doing that, and then we'll get to watch this.
I have a schedule open here.
Beautiful. So you want to tell us things that are coming up next? Thank you, Speed Gaming, for once again hosting the tournament, having this match, and then I expect to see you guys again next week.
Yeah. For the third.
Yeah. You need to. Same time next Saturday. Is that good?
I will be out of town, so we might have to do it at a different time next week. But we'll talk about that to schedule it.
All right. Because I can't do weekdays. It doesn't work with.
It might have to be 2 weekends from now, but we'll figure it out.
Or I can do Monday. I have Monday off. I work Sunday this week.
Wait, what? What's going on?
I don't know what the delay is, dude.
What? Oh my god!
I had to take I have to take off my headphone for that. Ow.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, for anyone who has not seen that yet, that is the new craziest strat in the game. I'm kind of like, Jock, do you know, like, did Cruncha find that or what?
I don't know. both DKS and Chrono take credit for everything, so I don't know which one of them find everything. So.
Well, GG Jock, this probably deserved to go to a game 3 anyways. I need to go apparently learn how to not die to Fugu and get rid of my poppy heads.
Yeah.
But all right, dude. Well, I guess I'm gonna bounce out. I'm gonna go do my own streaming. But yeah, what's next up on Speed Gaming 3? If there's a schedule for that right now.
Yeah, Speed Gaming 3 up next is Nier Automata. It will be up against Icefire versus Unite. B-Hop. Also, on Speed Gaming 5, it will be Super Metroid 80% tournament. It will be up against Toasty Muffins versus Hammon. And also Speed Gaming 2 with Super Metroid and A Link to the Past randomizer. And they all will start at 3 p.m.
Word, top of the hour. So if y'all are interested in more speed gaming stuff, there you go. And I'm gonna go ahead and sign out from there. Thank you so much for having me again.
Thank you for commentating. I love it.
Love you too, Yak.
GG Jock, see you for game 3. We'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
dude. GG.
Later, everyone. Bye.
Bye.